Follow-on video from the one I made previously about creating this coaster. And in this, I want to do two things. Number one, I want to just talk about making sure that the coaster can be identified as yours when we laser cut it as a prototype. And secondly, I want to look at modeling textures onto this coaster in TechSoft Design. So to do to identify this coaster as yours, it's going to be a very, very simple fix here. All I'm going to do is just zoom on this CAD file here. I'm just going to select the blue cutout, which would cut out the hole in the center here. I'm actually going to delete that in this particular case. And then I'm going to get the text tool, just drop a text box in there, put my initials in there, make sure, of course, that I select them. And to scale these, I can go to Properties, Settings, and type in a height here. In my particular case, I'm going to right-click on the resized node in the top right there, scale that back, and then I can position that where I want on the actual file. Now, to put it in the right place, what I'm going to do here is just draw a cross there. I'm going to make sure that that cross is going to be in pale gray. And I want to attach the DS initials here so that it's going to be aimed right on the center of this coaster. So to do that, I'm going to come to the Attach tool. Now, at the moment, the Attach tool is going to snap it, just turn off gridlock there, is going to snap it onto the end of that line, or it's going to get confused. So I'm going to right-click on the Attach tool. I'm going to change the Attach Entity attributes from endpoint to midpoint. And then now, as I mouse over this, as long as I have the attach square encompassing the center of the cross there, it should snap right into the middle. At this point, I'm going to perhaps put the attach back to endpoint, which would be the normal routine I'd work with, and then turn it off and go back to gridlock. So any more manipulation is going to be on the grid. Just notice here that the DS is behind the crosshairs there. That's because I put the crosshairs afterwards. I can select the DS and I can bring that to the front, should I say, using the ribbon bar at the top of the program there. Okay, so that's got my initials on now, and when I laser cut that, I will know that it belongs to me. Remember, black fill on our laser cutter is going to engrave those letters. Now, the other thing I want to look at here is adding textures to this. And I'm actually going to have to backtrack a little bit here in this video to show that process. I'm going to come back to this element here. I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, I've got gridlock on here. I'm going to paste it. And I think I'm going to bring that down to here. Okay, now in my last video, I got rid of that circle on the outside because this final coaster doesn't have the external circle. I selected all these lines and I made the lines there pale gray. But there's something else I'm going to do here, something else which I didn't do, which I think is a mistake. I need to do this in my videos, and that is group that together. So Control G or Edit and Group. Okay, you can see group now is grayed out because I've actually grouped it already. And what that is going to let me do basically is select this gray background template with one click. On this design here, you can see that as I was clicking gray template entities, it's only getting one at a time. Now I can select them on in one go. So I should have done that with my previous video. That was my mistake. I'm going to show you a fast way now of adding in all these contours. Let's come back to the contour tool. I've right-clicked here. I can see this is going to be zero contour spacing, graphical. I'm going to make sure my color is blue, and we know that I can start to add in here these colored contours. Now I'm going to work my way down here, and I am going to stop. Let me see. I am going to stop. I'm going to do that one there, yes, and that one there. And I'm going to stop right there. In fact, I'm going to do that contour, and I'm going to delete that one. So what and I need to do one more. Let's do that one there, yes, and that one there. Now, if I have a look at what I've done here, I've basically contoured this path. In fact, I've done too many. I've done too many. I only actually want to do that. Yes, now I've got it right. I'm just going to do those contours there. I don't have to do the rest because now what I can do is select and then shift select those blue contours. Come to my transform, rotate selected objects. I'm going to have that 12 times, so 11 repeats in total. And again, here, just identify the center point of this and it's going to duplicate that again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then the 12th I've already got. Okay, so that was a really fast way of adding in all of those contours. And of course, the last contour I want to make here is going to be the one around the outside. Now, at this point, I want to imagine how this is going to look if it's going to be engraved or laser cut, should I say, in, for example, a maple wood. So what I'm able to do now, of course, I also need to select, excuse me, all of these circles here. Now here's an issue because, of course, I've grouped all this together. So let me just take this across here for a second. Let's now ungroup that. Okay, let's select all of those circles. So I'm shift selecting there. I'm going to copy those, paste them, bring them across into here. Perhaps also do the same with this circle here as well, though of course technically with my name I don't need to use that. Now I can select all of that, group it again. Over here I'm going to select those circles. Now I perhaps should have done this when they were selected, but I'm going to do it now instead. And I want to cut those out, blue. Okay, and I'm not going to cut that out because my plan here is that that's, I'm going to have my initials in there instead. Okay, so let's have a see. This is all a bit topsy-turvy now. I think what I'm going to do is grab this, take it to the right, bring that to the left, and really I'm wanting to make sure that I've got some kind of logical structure going on here. Notice I couldn't grab everything there because it was off the page. Let's bring that in now. Okay, nice. That looks good. Sort of getting the layout good right there. Okay, so now I'm going to make this look like it's the maple finish. And I think I am actually going to move that out of the way because it's going to be causing a problem. And with my new initials, I don't need it. Let's get the bound fill tool, which is tool B4. I'm going to make sure that the fill properties of this tool are going to be a texture. I'm going to go to load texture. In the list of textures here, I'm going to go down to uncut wood or wood uncut. And I'm going to choose, for example, the maple. Have I gone past it? I've probably gone past it. There it is. Okay. I'm going to click on OK there and OK again. And now what I can do is click on this external edge on the inside. And I need to now say, yes, there are islands. And I need to click on all of these shapes. Now, as I'm working my way around here, I need to make sure I'm clicking close to the internal edge of each of these objects. And then I'm going to come in one level and I'm going to keep going. So if you've got a particularly complex shape, it can be quite laborious, but the fact that the yes option is highlighted there means I can just press the enter key and I can keep going. Now at this point I'm going to zoom out a bit, zoom in again so it's off to the side, and then that means now, where had I got to there? The dialog box for more islands isn't going to get in my way. Now maybe what I should have done here is pause the video and done this in the meantime. But I'm sure you're doing the same thing at the same time. We're going to have double bling, bling, bling coming on here. And we're almost there. Let's do those circles. Now, I've got to be careful now because as I get to the last circle, I've got to say yes, click, no. And there we go. We have got a fill texture which fills the shape, but with each of these cutouts as an island. I can now grab my DS. Let's copy that. Let's paste it in. Now this, notice it's on the grid because I'm using grid lock here and I've already snapped it onto the grid up there. And this wants to look like it's been engraved in. So I'm going to take this, fill, go to a texture, go to load texture. And normally when we engrave into the woods, it just comes out as a darker texture. So there's the maple. Let's just get a slightly darker texture. Is that darker? That might do it. Or that one there. I'm going to go with that one there, see if that works. I'm not convinced, but we'll see. Yeah, that works. And that's basically how it's going to look. And of course, we don't want to have the line there. So I'm actually going to make the line invisible using the line properties. Okay, so that kind of gives us an idea of how it's going to laser engrave and cut the shape. And of course, I probably also, for the full effect, I probably want to select, try again, shall we? Select and then shift select, and I probably actually want to pull those away because then I don't have the blue lines as well. So maybe I'm getting a little bit too hypercritical there, but I'm just imagining that's how it's going to look to make sure it's from the edge there as a final product. And in my design folder now, I can then show how I've developed this product going from my initial profiles, and then I kind of bypassed this top right view. Then I went down to here to create my basic background contours all grouped together, and then I made my my uh, contour cuts, thank you, in blue, and then I did my bounding fills. This is for laser cutting. Of course, I need to make sure that that is on the laser cut file, and then I've got my my model, my 2D representation of how it would look made from wood. Okay.